Many of us have or will experience a deep loss in our lifetime, the death of a parent or a sibling, maybe even a child.
Oh, there's a Minnesota woman who not only studied grief, death, and losses, but speaks to others about it and shows others how to find hope amidst loss. Kelly Grosklags is here to have a conversation about grief. Kelly, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
How did you get interested in this topic?
Well, it started when I was 11. My mom, Sandy, died suddenly, and she was 33. So I think a lot of times people will say, how did you find this field? I think the field found me.
Yeah.
And actually started in college in advertising. And then a professor pulled me aside and said, I think there's something else you should be doing. So got an undergraduate and graduate degree and started off in hospice work, which is
hard.
Hard and rewarding.
Yeah.
You know, when they're not necessarily your family members that are dying, very, very rewarding work. So I think the field found me, and I'm grateful it did.
Tell me what it is that you do for people.
So now that I'm not in a private practice, I left private practice so I could do more speaking and teaching, but I do still see people at the end of their life. Families will get in contact with me to be able to just help people come to terms with maybe what is going on with their disease, their family. You know, not every family is functional. And so sometimes at the end of life, things get very difficult. And we need forgiveness work, gratitude work, love, whatever that may be. So I just meet with families and the patient and do whatever kind of work needs to be done at the end. So it's rewarding, it's sacred. It's very sacred work, and a good life deserves a good death. That's really one of our premises when we work in palliative care and hospice.
Yeah.
And so I just show up and hold the space for whatever needs to happen at the end.
Well, it's got to be very challenging dealing with someone who's on their deathbed and the emotions that they're going through, if they're, you know, alert enough and cognizant enough to be able to talk things out with you. Where does that conversation usually start?
It normally starts with acknowledging that this is a loss, to be diagnosed with something that's going to shorten a life. And, you know, even people in their 90s feel like sometimes it's too early to die.
Of course,
people feel like they didn't get enough time with their people.
Yeah.
So the conversation starts with, I want to get to know them outside of the disease. I don't really want to, I know that they have a certain disease, but we really try not to identify people as their disease. So I get to know them. And then I start with, what are you the most scared of right now? And we go from there. And the two common themes that people often say to me through the thousands of people I've worked with is, I don't want to be forgotten. And please make sure my family keeps living, that it's okay to feel joy and that there's space for joy and the grief to live in the same arena.
So do you then stay with the families after the person has passed?
I have, absolutely. Stay with them, meaning, so if I'm there for the death, I literally might stay and help, but also if I will do a follow-up session with them or whatever they need, and then I get them connected to a center here in the Twin Cities called Brighter Days Grief Center, that's who I do my anticipatory grief work through, is through them. And so I will see them, and then I may transfer them to a counselor at the center to be able to have more ongoing, because we know deep love brings deep grief. So this isn't like a one-time thing. You know,
I do feel like so many people, when they've lost someone, they kind of keep it to themselves. They think that this is something that they need to work through.
That's right. Absolutely. And we're getting better. I think through COVID, we saw so much loss, and we were maybe a little more adequate, if you will, on talking about death, talking about loss. I mean, losses and grief is much more than death. We know that. Yeah. But you're right, absolutely, Megan. And people, there's a timeline that society puts us on. We hear about that first year. The first year is very surreal. The second year becomes more real. So we really want to stay in touch when people have had a loss, to know that that first year is just kind of trying to incorporate that this happened. The second year, it becomes more like, oh, this happened.
Yeah.
And so, to your point, though, you know, think about going to the grocery store. How are you today? all the bereaved and all the grievers that come through a grocery store, and how many say, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, I mean, our society kind of likes that.
Right.
We like to keep it at the surface.
Because the second you say, well, let me tell you about my day, you're like, oh, God, I wish I didn't have asked
And my
that
joke is,
question,
if you
or
want to get
it's-
through the line really quickly, bring up something that's hard, and they just get your groceries going fast. So
tell us about your book.
So I just released my second book called When Love Meets Grief, and my first book is A Comforted Heart. I just launched it in June. It is basically my reflections from the bedside and also in my private practice with people who are at the end of their life, but then also with the beautiful people I've worked with in the grief and loss space. So it talks a lot about hope, love. My premise is love is medicine. And at the end of life, a wonderful woman named Judy said, people, my dog, my people are what matters. And it kind of emphasizes how important love is.
Kelly, let me ask you this, because you're talking a lot about the families, right, and the people who are approaching the end of their life. But how do you, as a friend, help someone going through that? How do you address it with them and let them know you're here without being a burden to them?
It's a great question. So the one thing we have to remember is that people know they're ill, and people know when they're terminal if they've had appropriate conversations. To not say anything is the worst thing, really, because people feel so isolated and so alone when they're terminal or at the end of their life. So the best way is to say, I don't necessarily know how to show up for you, but I am not going to leave you. And then please don't leave them, right?
Yeah.
And that might be just a text. That might be, to say call me if you need anything is kind of futile. We don't do that. And so that means dropping off a meal. That means mowing their lawn. That means, can I take your dog for a walk? So showing up is really important, and reminding people, talk to them about things outside of their illness sometimes too. You know,
Get away
I
from it.
remember when we were in college and we had this thing, and so people want to be remembered outside of their illness. But I think it's important to show up. I mean, that's the thing I hear the most from my patients, is they feel abandoned.
Before we go quickly, we need to talk about, you've got an event coming up with our friend JC Lippold, so tell us about that.
Yes, JC. So on August 8th, we have an event coming up about hope. We know that hope is available to all of us, and it's also hard to hold. So there's reservation or registration on the card there, and it's coming up right here in Plymouth, Minnesota. So we're excited. We're excited to have it, and thanks for having me. Thanks for talking about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
It's hard.
It's true.
Yeah.
Kelly, thank you very much. Good to
Thank
meet you.
you.
We'll post a link for you folks if you'd like to purchase her book and register for the event. Again, Conversation on Hope, that'll be at minnesotalive.com.